Another one from
Oh,
Iceland.
But here
Ho-
is, yeah, what the fuck? It's no, yeah. Anyway, this is a shot from one of the rivers on the south coast, and there are two. I think the Glosier's gulls or some bigger gulls flying together across this abstract delta, and it gives a scale to it.
mhm,
Otherwise,
mhm.
you don't have a clue what the size is. But here you get
Right.
a
It's phenomenal, yeah.
scale.
Yep, that's when I was looking through your portfolio, Hans. It's really hard to like pick an image of yours to show. But you just nailed it. When I saw this one, I saw the goals. I was like, it really gives you a sense of scale. I mean, the backdrop is absolutely phenomenal. But this is super unique. You don't see that a lot with you do see a few of these shots floating around, but really cool how you got the goals in this shot. I love it. And
Right.
That is just luck, of course. I mean, you have like like we say, you have to be there, and now and then you're lucky. And this time I was lucky to be there when there were two birds flying across. And but it happens more often if you fly over the rivers on the south coast in the spring. This was shot in March. There are a lot of activities among birds in the early spring, March, April, when the gulls are mating, and you can see big congregations of birds over the river deltas. It can be insane.
Hans, do you have so when I went, I mean, I've been in the fall and I've been in the winter several times. For flights like these, do you have a favorite time of year that you like to get
Spring
up in the
is
air?
probably the best because of runoff or like early summer.
Yeah, and more water in the early part of the year, like in the spring.
Is
But
that
this
So
good
is
though,
like
or do you get like less structure because it's like too full, like too high?
that's what I was thinking.
a difficult question to answer, depending on what you want to shoot. But this river, it changes a lot. This is shot in March, and I've shot it in all kind of seasons, and it always looks the same. Always look different, and the patterns and the colors and everything it changes. So you can't really, I can't say really. Sometimes it's very red, and here it's kind of more yellow, and
Hmm.
yeah.
What's really cool about this one though is you have those bare sections where there's no water that give it that nice veiny tree-like structure.
Hmm.
Right. You would lose that if the water was too high, I think.
Hans, do you have a pilot that you specifically like when you go there and make these flights?
Yeah, yes and no, but I've had a lot of pilots, so I would say
He's like, yeah, but I'm
yeah.
not sharing it with you.
No, I mean, when I went, I found a pilot that I really liked, and he was very like, hey, you know what? Whatever you guys want to do, you have the headset on. You tell me when you want to bank, which way you want to go.
Who was that, Paul? Because that'd be good publicity for him.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here while we're sitting here talking about it. But it's a little airstrip that's down just north of the lagoon area. I'm gonna pull it up and figure out exactly who it is.
So
But he was
kind of down near the Keflavik airport.
no, it's way
Oh,
south.
the Iceberg Lagoon, the Jokosarlan?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you
Yes.
meant like the Blue Lagoon.
No, and they were great. I mean, he was a really young guy. I would venture to say he was in his late teens or early 20s, but literally.
He had a
And
permit, not a license.
yeah, I thought he was fueling up the plane, and he said, "Hey, this is your guy." I showed him a couple of images of things that we wanted to do, like on the beaches,
Some
as
comp
far
stomps.
as Yeah, just kind of the area we wanted to shoot, and then maybe some stuff up in the Highlands. And he's like, "Yeah, I got you. Put on the headset and just work with me, and we'll get it done." But
Wow.
Well, yeah, good to have a pilot. But you know, this famous guy Hadi, he died. You know, I never flew.
Yeah, Diego, volcano pilot.
that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if he was your guy or not. I really didn't want to ask, but I know.
I don't think
I know
Hans
that
ever
was
flew with
pretty
him.
tragic.
I asked Hans when he died.
Never flew him. No.
Yeah.
But I have another guy. His name is Gudmundur. He has his own plane, but I need to find his phone number. I can send it to you, Eric. You can send it over to the other guys.
Maybe I will.
I have.
Yeah, he
In
will.
exchange for some beer.
Not happening.
Next package is free, and I'll send you the
Yeah.
phone number.
Got all that
Yeah,
Bud Light.
I had a fantastic pilot. His name was Aslan, and this was shot with him. And eventually, I threw up in his plane, and he never flew with me again. Yeah, and not from India Pale Ales. It's from air sickness.
Has that happened before, or was it just that one time?
It happened one time, but it was extremely turbulent, and I felt bad immediately after takeoff, and he had to almost do emergency landing. We landed on some grass field just to get me out of the plane, and I had a guy from Reykjavik coming and picking me up with a car. It was just horrible, but he never flew with me again. But he was a fantastic pilot. We got a lot of good shots with him. He's not living in Iceland anymore. He's away somewhere. I haven't seen him for 8 years. So but there is a guy. His name is Gudmundur. He has a plane. He's a lovely pilot as well. He's doing the job perfectly with the Cessna. Yeah.
Well, that other guy sounds like a dick. I throw up in my bathroom all the time. And my wife still talks to me.
Yeah, my pilot was out of IcelandAdventures.com, and he had a Cessna as well. And it was great that I've done a couple of different flights where you have to end up shooting through glass or plexiglass or something like that, which really, I mean, you can really get some glare. You got to wear certain gloves so it doesn't.
Well, the resolution,
show up.
like that glass isn't as quality as like the glass of your lens, like
Absolutely.
sharpness and everything.
Right,
It's
yeah.
gonna make it soft.
Yep. So their planes had cutouts in the front and both sides in the back. So my son was in the front, I was in the back, had cutouts on both sides. I flipped both those down, and yeah, really great experience. Really great company and great pilot. So had really great service through them.
That was kind of big Cessna, right? A big one.
Yep.
Big people. Yeah, I flew with that. It's from the airport just south of Kappafett, right?
Yeah, it was just south of like the
The big glacier. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly the one, Hans.
There was still an airfield there. Yeah.
Yep.
That works. I've flown with him. That works very well.
Yeah, and it's and really the place where you're going to be shooting is just minutes from that airport. So once you're in the air, you're 10 minutes away from where you're going to do most of your shooting.
Yeah, both huge delta, Skadara Sounder, and you have the glaciers and everything just nearby. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
How long
Yep.
was the flight, Paul? Like an hour?
I initially booked it. I didn't know how much time I would need. I initially booked it for 45 minutes. But when I got there, I changed it to an hour and a half. And
So you were flying and it's 45 minutes. He's like, we're going back in. Like, fuck no. And you slipped him like $100 bill or something, like stuck in his shirt. Or...
well, I talked to him.
Waistband.
Yeah, exactly. I tucked it into his shorts. Said, "Hey, dude, let's go more." No, when I got to the airport there, I was talking to the lady, And I told her I wanted to shoot up to the Highlands as well, and she said, "Well, if you want to go up to the Highlands, let's add another 45 minutes to that." And I'm so glad I did, because when you go up to the Highlands, that's where you get a lot of those cones, and depending on the time of year, you kind of get that really green cone type stuff, or the snow and ice ones, and the braided type rivers that kind of lead up to those. So I mean, yeah, there's just really some amazing stuff.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Bastard.
hour and a half was good, but I mean, it's never enough, right, Hans? I mean, you could just stay up there for hours and just keep shooting.
Yeah, sometimes flown for 5 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
That's too
that's-
much. I would be fatigued. I wouldn't even know how to compose after that.
That is a matter of having a big bladder, I can tell you.
Yeah.
True. Gotta have a catheter.
Also, I flew this year in June. I flew with a client with a helicopter, or what do you call it? Robinson 66. You know, it's a small one with a turbojet engine, and it can fly for 5 hours. It's quite an amazing helicopter, and with the doors off, and I can tell you, I was freezing. I was like a fish finger. I was in panic, you know. It was quite a horrible experience. I just tried to figure out how to survive, because my client, he was sitting next to the pilot in the front, and he was quite well wind protected, whereas I was in severe wind in the back seat with the door off, and the wind came up through the pants, you know, and under the jacket, and God, it was freaking cold, you know.
you literally froze your balls off.
Yeah,
Oh,
shrinkage.
Yeah, I had to cut off. Disectomy, yeah.